Palm Springs, California. Master stonemason and sculptor Roger Hopkins uses a variety of advanced tools to cut and shape hard stones. Powered implements, such as diamond-tipped wires and polishers, enable him to fashion works of art out of huge granite blocks obtained from nearby quarries. Yet even with these high-tech tools, Hopkins cannot replicate what ancient civilizations accomplished thousands of years ago. Could these advanced engineering methods be the smoking gun that proves humans had help from alien beings?
The precision on some of the work that I've seen is just incredible. It's possible to do by hand, but it takes an incredible amount of time. Plus, you have to have years of experience to be able to pull it off.
In my opinion, the most tangible pieces of evidence that we have regarding possible extraterrestrial technology is when we look at the ancient stone cutting techniques. Because in some instances, we ourselves today could not replicate what our ancestors allegedly accomplished with stonemasonry.
Puma Punku is a large temple complex located on a high plateau in Bolivia. Mainstream archaeologists date the site from approximately 200 BC. The people who lived here had neither a written language nor the wheel, yet somehow they built one of the world's most complex structures. Ancient alien theorists view Puma Punku as clear proof of extraterrestrial influence.
The ruins we find at Puma Punku are simply extraordinary. Puma Punku defies logic.
The interest of Puma Punku is not so much that the individual stones slotted together perfectly, but the fact that the stones as such are of such tremendous design that it requires concepts of mathematics which are far beyond anything we are actually using right now. Yet somehow in the past, somebody has made that for a specific purpose, and in a way which even computer programs today would kind of go, how is this possible?
In the highlands of Bolivia, Puma Punku, some of these blocks are over 40 to 50 tons each. What can you tell us about this?
Boy, they had their stone cutting abilities, pretty well fine-tuned for 5,000 years old. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. But these cutting planes that they have on here are very impressive. And some of the incised cuts, see, like in here, all these interior cuts, very hard to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be difficult for us with our equipment to get that kind of precision.
Let's talk a little bit about inside boxes.
Ooh, I was afraid you were going to pull something like this on me. That is a hell of a piece of work. I mean, if we were to do something like that today, we use what they have, these computer-driven CNC machines, which have diamond tips, and you have a template that, the computer follows, and even then, it may not come out as perfect.
Because even though you can tell that obviously this piece broke off, nowhere in here can you see any imperfection. It's like, and by the way, when you're there, if you go with your finger over these edges and you put a little pressure on your fingertip, you can cut yourself. This is how sharp the edges are.
But where could the ancient peoples have developed such technology? Is it really possible that extraterrestrial visitors provided different construction methods and tools.
When I saw these blocks, I didn't really think that they were cut. The first thing really that I thought of was this appears very similar to Frank Lloyd Wright's textile block system of construction, which he used in his California houses in the early 1920s. Now what he did was he took concrete, poured it into molds.
There actually are ancient Incan legends that suggest that they had the capability of softening the stone. At Sacsayhuaman, for example, we find these gigantic stone blocks, gigantic stone walls, where it looks as if those stones were molten, put into place, and then the stone hardened again.
Several hundred miles north of Puma Punku, Machu Picchu sits high atop the Peruvian Andes. Built by the Incas in the 15th century, this stone citadel was suddenly abandoned about 100 years later. Like Puma Punku, Machu Picchu also has signs of advanced engineering and possibly molded stones.
I can't help but think that whoever was behind this thought the process through from beginning to end. They didn't quarry the rock and then decide, how the heck are we going to transport this? They knew from beginning to end what needed to be done with whatever techniques and technology they were going to use, so that this was no big deal. In industry today, there's a kind of an adage, keep it simple, stupid.
Based on his experience, Mike Dunn believes the simplest way to build the Great Walls of Machu Picchu would have been to transport small rocks to the site, then melt them, and use molds to fashion the exact size and shape needed.
That would solve a lot of difficulties of constructing this wall. First, you have your shapes all the same size, each shape. So you're guaranteed that they would fit together, as opposed to being cut by different artisans.
Melting the rocks and then pouring them into place would take an incredible amount of heat just to spall off pieces of stone. I have a stone torch, which I use for sometimes shaping granite, and I mean, it generates a temperature of in excess of 3,000 degrees. 3,000 degrees. That's a lot.
When we look back at the ancients and we see a technology that they couldn't possibly know, there's only two possibilities then. Either God did it, which we really don't think happened, or some high-tech civilization from another planet came and showed them how to do it, then took their materials and tools and went back home.